Good evening, and welcome to German Rise. I'm your lead anchor, Klaus Richter, bringing you the stories that shape our nation, providing the depth and context you won't find anywhere else. Tonight, Germany grapples once again with the volatile intersection of political assembly and public protest. The streets of Gießen, a city known for its vibrant university life and progressive spirit, erupted today in a stark display of the deep political divides fracturing our society. What began as a scheduled youth meeting for the Alternative for Germany Party, or AfD, quickly devolved into scenes of confrontation, barricades, and police intervention, underscoring the escalating tensions as we approach a crucial electoral cycle. For hours, Gießen was a battleground of ideologies. On one side, members and supporters of the Junge Alternative, the AfD's youth wing, gathered for what they termed a dialogue on Germany's future. On the other, a formidable coalition of anti-fascist groups, student unions, and concerned citizens mobilized in counter-protest, determined to prevent the far-right message from taking root in their community. The air was thick with chants, sirens, and the palpable tension of two irreconcilable visions for Germany clashing head-on. This isn't an isolated incident, it's a recurring motif in Germany's recent political history. The AfD, which has seen a significant surge in polling across various states, particularly in the East, has increasingly become a lightning rod for both fervent support and vehement opposition. Its youth wing, the Junge Alternative, has itself been under scrutiny by the Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution, or BFV, in several federal states, classified in some instances as a suspected extremist organization due to concerns over its adherence to democratic principles. This backdrop of official monitoring only adds another layer of complexity to today's events. The scene in Gießen today was set long before the first protester arrived. Local authorities had anticipated trouble, deploying a considerable police contingent to separate the factions and maintain order around the planned AfD event at a private venue on the city's outskirts. However, by early afternoon, counter-protesters, numbering in the hundreds, had already formed human chains and blockades, attempting to impede access to the AfD gathering. Verbal altercations quickly escalated. Reports from the ground describe projectiles being thrown, bottles, smoke bombs, from sections of the counter-protest towards police lines and perceived AfD sympathizers. Police responded with water cannons and pepper spray to disperse the crowds and enforce their cordons. Several arrests were made on both sides for disturbing the peace, assault, and resisting officers. The exact number of injured remains unclear, though paramedics were seen attending to individuals throughout the afternoon. Local Mayor Frank Mueller issued a statement late this afternoon, expressing profound regret over the violence, emphasizing Gießen's commitment to democratic values and condemning any form of extremism. An AfD spokesperson, speaking from the meeting venue, predictably decried the violence as an attack on freedom of assembly and a testament to the intolerance of the radical left, using the clashes to reinforce their narrative of being victims of a system that seeks to silence them. Meanwhile, a representative for the Gießen Against the Right coalition stated their actions were a necessary defense of democracy, arguing that tolerance for intolerance is no longer an option. To help us understand the deeper currents at play here, we turn to Professor Dr. Anja Schmidt, a renowned political scientist from the University of Potsdam, specializing in social movements and democratic resilience. Professor Schmidt, thank you for joining us. What do today's events in Gießen signify in the broader context of German politics? Thank you, Klaus. What we witnessed today in Gießen is a microcosm of the intense polarization that has gripped Germany in recent years. The AfD, through its youth wing, is deliberately pushing boundaries, testing the limits of public tolerance and legal assembly. They often seek to provoke a reaction, which they then skillfully leverage to portray themselves as martyrs, as victims of a left-wing mob or a biased establishment. This narrative resonates strongly with their base and helps them consolidate support, especially among those who feel disenfranchised or unheard. And what about the counter-protests? Are they effective in curbing the rise of the far right, or do they inadvertently play into the AfD strategy? That's the perennial dilemma for democratic forces, Professor Schmidt explains. On one hand, a robust civil society response is absolutely vital. Silence in the face of extremist rhetoric can be interpreted as tacit acceptance. Protests remind us that a significant portion of the population actively rejects these ideologies. They provide solidarity and a platform for alternative visions. However, when these protests descend into violence, as we saw today, it becomes problematic. It can alienate potential allies, erode public sympathy, and, crucially, provide the very footage and narrative the AfD craves to delegitimize their opponents and bolster their own victimhood complex. The challenge lies in effective, non-violent, and impactful resistance that doesn't inadvertently fuel the very forces it seeks to combat. It requires strategic thinking, not just emotional reaction. Professor Schmidt, thank you for your invaluable insights. The events in Gießen today are more than just a local disturbance. They are a potent symptom of a nation at a critical juncture. The escalating frequency and intensity of these clashes raise profound questions about the future of political discourse in Germany. Will the lines between legitimate protest and outright confrontation continue to blur? How will law enforcement adapt to managing these increasingly volatile situations while upholding fundamental rights? And what does this mean for the stability of our democratic institutions? The AfD continues to gain ground, fueled by anxieties over immigration, economic uncertainty, and a perceived disconnect with the political establishment. Their youth wing, the Junge Alternative, is actively cultivating the next generation of party activists, ensuring the longevity of their movement. Counter-protests, while vital for democratic health, face the delicate task of articulating dissent without descending into the very chaos that can be exploited by those they oppose. As Germany moves towards a series of state and federal elections in the coming years, the political temperature is only set to rise. The scenes from Gießen today serve as a stark reminder that the battle for Germany's future is not just being fought in the Bundestag or on television screens, but on the very streets of our towns and cities. It is a battle of ideas, of values, and increasingly of wills. The challenge for all of us, as citizens, as institutions, is to find a way to navigate these turbulent waters without losing sight of the democratic principles that underpin our society. We will continue to monitor the situation in Gießen and its broader implications. Thank you for joining us tonight on German Rise. From all of us here, good night.